All right, I'm back. We're at 4:12 in the second period. We just had a penalty called against the Selects Vitodian for interference. I am back. Sorry, I got to do the Zoom too, but I figured I'd get you something up and running here. I'll fix the Zoom in a second as they come back the other way. All right, there's your Zoom fixed. I'll fix the links and everything later once we get home. As this one comes through, shorthanded, Kiesel cuts it off. Kiesel takes it to the wall shorthanded. 3:45 second period. 101 in the penalty to Vitodian for interference as they come down the near wall. The Flyers do. See some of you coming back on the new link. I appreciate you following me over. As this one goes across. I haven't had one die in a while. There's usually one every season, and this is the second one this season. Connection's not great here. High slot shot, missed everything near side. As this one goes into the near corner, they send it up to Stevens. Stevens across to Clardy, and this one will go all the way down, and there's 30 seconds left in the penalty to Vitodian. And I got the clock messed up. I'll fix it. We're at 3:05. Now at 3 minutes, and now I'm back in sync. So it takes a few minutes. I had to reboot the iPad. The whole app crashed. I don't know what happened there, but it took a minute, and now I'm back. So this one goes all the way down as the penalty to Vitodian has 8 seconds left. Zivkovic sends it up. Was looking for Vitodian, but she was a couple seconds too fast. Flyers have it back this way as Zivkovic sends it up to Wu. Wu sends it in. Comes down the near wall. 20 of you have already followed me over here. I'm grateful. Thank you. Sorry. I wish I controlled the cellular signal, but I don't. Blinka shoots from the point loose. Shot in tight. Diamond gets leveled. Now you got Vitodian getting tackled in front of the net. No call. And 2:24. All that's going to do is make her mad. Schilling, Kiesel, Stevens, Clardy, Mrazek. So I know I got to go back and clean up that other hanging live stream. I'll have to do that later. As Stevens takes the draw, dies on the dot, now goes below the end line. Flyers are going to pick it up behind the net, up the near wall. Here they come up the near wall. They get a shot in. Coulter's going to cover that up. And with 2:08 to go, we'll get a draw. So you missed a couple minutes of the second period. You didn't miss anything important, thankfully. Came back to a Flyers power play. And now here we are in the corner for this draw. Diamond, Saltrick, Makasenka. Schilling's going to pick it up. Schilling all the way around for Saltrick. Saltrick gave it up to a Flyer. Turn, shoot. Coulter with the cover. 2 minutes to go. Second period. We still accomplished nothing. So we will go to the far circle for this draw. Stripes directing traffic behind him. They send it out to the far point. In on Coulter. She covers that up. And now we're going to go back to the far circle. New players. Shannon, Wu, Scarlatelli, Vitodian, and Zivi. Vitodian might still be mad from the tackle on her last shift. Maybe she could turn this into another goal. She's had the hot hand this weekend. Over to Vitodian. Vitodian up the wall to Scarlatelli. Scarlatelli can't chip it out. They come in low with it. Shot! Coulter pushes that to the end line. Coulter's had some heavy pressure here recently. As this one comes deeper. Flyers going to pick it up in the near circle. Shot! Coulter knocked that down. Zivkovic tackled a Flyer in front of the net, and this one drifts out. And that's going to be icing, but it's not going to get there. Now the Flyers are going to pick it up. Take it behind the net. Shannon with pressure. They chip it off Scarlatelli. Zivkovic throws it deeper. Now it goes in around behind the net. Flyers dance around Scarlatelli. Zivkovic has to wait for the zone to clear. Zivkovic gets upended, and we got a penalty coming here on the Flyers, and now Scarlatelli might get one too. Scarlatelli might get one too here. Let's see what happens. Flyers are going to definitely get one, and I think Scarlatelli might get one too. Don't voluntarily go to the box, Scarlatelli. And she is going to go. So we were going to be on the power play, and then Scarlatelli threw an elbow. And now we're not going to be on the power play. We had a power play coming. And you got to not do that stuff in a close game. So we're going to go 5-on-5. We'll play 5-on-5. Coincidental minors here. Stevens, Clardy, Mrazek, Blinka, and Kiesel. Stevens going to try to knock it forward to Clardy. Can't. They come through, and now the clock's back in sync. Comes down the near wall. And in behind. This one up to Kiesel. Kiesel sends it up for Clardy. Clardy sends it up into the feet of a flyer who sends it back. Kiesel. They're going to call it a hand pass. So the Flyers were tripping, and we were going back onto the Canadian Tire power play, but then Scarlatelli threw an elbow, and now we're playing 5-on-5, and the Flyers knocked this in past Stevens, and Kiesel sends it out. Here comes Clardy up the far wall. She can't keep a handle on the puck. Clardy can't get around as she gets her stick pulled out of her hand, no call. Flyers send it up. Kiesel can't hold that one. Mrazek can't hold it, has to regroup. 31 seconds left up to Clardy. Clardy throws it down past Stripes in behind the net. And Stevens is going to go skate over. They're going to battle on the wall. Up the wall, Blinka holds. Blinka throws it in front. Goaltender struggled with it initially, but then covered it up. And with 18 seconds to go in the arena, we're going to get a draw here. Makasenka, Diamond, and Salatrick, Kiesel, and Blinka. So Zivy's telling Kiesel something. He's going to want her to cheat in. I'm a couple seconds behind. I'll fix it. Directing traffic behind. Comes out to Kiesel at the far point. They still didn't start the clock. I'm Philly. I'm not happy here. Now the clock starts. And now I'm back in sync. This clock operator is terrible. Blinka. Blinka up. Right to a Flyer. Gets it in. It goes behind the net. Coulter's going to knock that low. It's on the doorstep. They poke it out to the top of the crease. They kick it. Shot! They're going to give him the goal. That extra couple seconds where they didn't start the clock hurt us. That extra couple seconds where they did not start the clock absolutely hurt us. And that one's going to count. They're checking. They called it a goal on the ice, and the Flyers are going to be up 1-0. So apparently they're going to make him take a face-off with a half a second left. That terrible clock attendance there just absolutely killed us. That half a second took 3 seconds. So now we're going to go to the third. All right, they're going to come out for 3. I can't believe what we just saw. They started that clock so late with 18 seconds to go, and it cost us the goal at the end of the period. So now Zivkovic's going to pick it up, send it up the wall. And now the Flyers are going to pick it up and come up the wall with it. Schilling. Wu sends it out. Vitodian. You know Vitodian's mad. Vitodian gets tripped. No call. Not sure how you missed that one. And now Schilling sends it across to Zivkovic. Zivkovic up to Vitodian. You know she's mad at this point. And Schilling now up to Vitodian. Vitodian smacks it into the zone. This one skies back out. Schilling can't handle it, and Zivkovic's going to have to clean it up. Zivkovic sends it across to Shannon. Shannon. Schilling back to Shannon. Across to Vitodian. Vitodian banks it in. They're going to head for a change. And it's back behind the Flyers' net. Comes up and out. Stevens, Mrazek, and Mrazek, Stevens, and Claherty out here now as they battle it on the wall. Claherty tips it out of there. She tips it back to herself, loses it. Gets stood up, Stevens. Stevens loses it. Stevens skates over. Kiesel up to nobody. And they're going to chase it down on the far wall. Mrazek steps in and holds it. Mrazek sends it in front to Stevens. Can't do anything with it. Kiesel chips it low. Stevens can't do anything with it. She's got a girl on her. She throws a little elbow at her. Claherty sends it back the other way. Here comes Stevens up the near wall. Stevens. Stevens with a shot. Goaltender with a cover. And we'll get a draw with 11:18 to go. Back here in the near circle. Salatrick, Diamond, and Makasenka. Kiesel and Blinka. As this one ends up behind the net. Blinka picks it up there. Blinka throws it on net, misses everything to the near side. Diamond throws it lower behind stripes. Salatrick can't handle it. Flyers are going to pick it up there. Up to the point. Blinka cheats up. Kiesel has her covered. They send it back up to Blinka now. Kiesel does. Blinka sends it all the way into the corner. And it goes around behind where Salatrick's going to pick that one up, send it below. I'd hate to see this game end 1-0, to be honest with you. I don't mind if we lose 2-1. I don't mind if we lose 3-0, but you do not want to lose on that goal. So now it comes back up the wall. Hopefully the sports gods won't let that happen, as we are. Offsides. Hey, Aaron, hit the chat. Let me know if everything's good on this one, buddy. And we'll see where we're going here. We're going to this dot. Looks good here, but I can't always tell, and I didn't do an audio check on this one. But nobody's screaming in the chat, so it must be okay. This one goes up, and Schilling's going to pick it up there, send it around behind the net, where it's going to come up now to Shannon. Shannon up, hits Scarlatelli in stride. Scarlatelli gets tripped, and now we're going to go back on the Canadian Tire power play. Canadian Tire, we're better than Bell Tire. It's going to bring you a power play. Stevens, Claherty, Makasenka, Schilling, and I think that's Vitodian. And Tina jumps in and lets me know we're all good. I appreciate it. So we'll go to the far circle. You do not want to lose this game 1-0 on that goal. So let's see what we can do here. I don't mind losing any other score than 1-0. So they're going to chase it behind, and Makasenka cuts it off. Makasenka tried the blind center, and it went right into the feet of a Flyer. So Makasenka, Stevens, Claherty. Makasenka knocked down on the wall. Flyers are going to pick it up and come the other way. Schilling stepped up. Now we just have Vitodian back. Claherty hurrying. Vitodian, they get around Vitodian. Claherty pokes that one away. Trips Schilling in the process up to Stevens. Stevens up the far wall. Stevens, too far for Makasenka. Now we're going to go in behind where Stevens is going to go apply pressure. Stevens and the girl go down. Flyers wanted a call. Flyers fans wanted a call on Stevens on that one. They're going to continue to battle. They're really good at tying it up during these power plays. 44 seconds to go in the penalty. They just tie it up against that wall, and they cannot get it out of there. One girl is tying it up against 3 selects, and Stevens is twice her size. Knock her off the puck. I can't believe Stevens can't knock her off the puck. And we're going to get a whistle, 29 seconds in the power play. So we're going to see what happens here as Jimmy's talking to Stripes. Now Stripes coming to talk. No, he's not. Thought he was. We get the draw. It goes in. She covers it up. We're going to do it again with 9:12 in the arena. They send it into the corner. Makasenka's going to go battle. They're going to tie it up again. Makasenka falls down. Stevens, use your size. This girl's even smaller than the last one. Makasenka comes out of there with it. Makasenka off the side of the net. Goaltender with a cover. And here comes Diamond, Mrazek, and Saltrick to relieve. Stevens, Clardy, and Makasenka with 13 seconds to go in the Canadian Tire power play. Diamond takes this draw. Dies on the dot. Flyers come out of there with it. They're going to flip it out past Kiesel. It's going to go all the way down, and that should be. No, they wave it off. It's slowed down. Ice is getting choppy. This one comes up too far. Diamond picks it up. Diamond has to wait for Saltrick to slow down. She throws it into the corner. Penalty's over. Diamond out front. Can't get it through to Mrazek. And this one's going to pick up. Kiesel knocks it down, sends it back the other way, and here come the Flyers 2-on-1. Saltrick shoulders her off the puck. Mrazek gets over there, can't clear. They send it in deeper. Saltrick up, can't get it out to Mrazek, but now Blinka will pick it up. Here comes Blinka. Blinka down the far wall. Blinka looking for a drop to a trailer, can't get one. Blinka leveled along the wall, no call. Literally right in front of Stripes, no call. This one cut off by Wu. Wu stops, turns, throws. Wu still battling. Wu up the wall to Kiesel. Kiesel sends it, misses everything to the far side. Out to Blinka. Blinka sends it lower to Shannon. Shannon on her preferred backhand across the goal mouth to Wu, who couldn't get her stick down. Wu out to Kiesel. Kiesel's going to send it again, miss everything to the far side. Shannon throws it back over to Kiesel. Kiesel sends it again. Goaltender sends it to the far corner. Shannon needs to get that up to Blinka. Shannon takes it. Shannon backhands it, doesn't go anywhere. Blinka knocks it lower. Flyers pick it up there. It's going to drift out Scarlatelli. Scarlatelli sends it. It's loose in front. Shannon tipped it. Couldn't do anything with it. Now the Flyers are going to come back. Kiesel. Now Blinka. Blinka pushes her over the skates right around Blinka. Kiesel steps up and takes it. 7:19 to go. Kiesel sends it up. Sends it deep, and they're going to go for a change. Shannon stays. Schilling and Stevens out here now, I see Clardy. See Vitodian. Stevens comes up the near wall, sends it deep. Stevens is going to go in there and battle. She's going to tie it up on the wall again. Stevens is going to tip it. Makasenka tips it. Here come the Flyers. They chip it over to the far wall. Flyers are going to gain the red line and dump it, and that's what you do when you're up 1-0 in a tight game. Vitodian up the wall. Stevens is going to get there, send it up to Makasenka. Makasenka pushes it a little bit forward, but not much. Flyers send it back. And now Vitodian's going to have to go chase it, and that's going to be an icing. 6:30 to go. We'll come back the other way for this draw. So you do not want to lose 1-0 on a goal that shouldn't have happened because the clock operator was terrible. I've said it multiple times. I'm going to continue to say it until the score changes. And Diamond's going to step in and take this draw. It goes low. Sorry for the cough. I'm getting sick. Vitodian sends it in. Makasenka tipped it over to the far corner. Now they chip it up the wall. Diamond's going to hold the player. Schilling couldn't hold the puck. Schilling stops, turns. Doesn't wait for Clardy. Clardy was nowhere close to out, and that is offside, 6:10. So we'll do it again, just outside the zone. And Diamond, Makasenka, Clardy, Blinka, and Kiesel. They poke it ahead for Clardy. Clardy gets tripped, and we're going to go back on the Canadian Tire power play. As Flyers going to sit for a trip. Vitodian, Stevens, Kiesel, Mrazek, Salatrick. We're going to go on the power play, and the moms are trying to find some energy here. I'd like to see Stevens get the T1 up. She hasn't yet. Stevens needs the T1 up here. I'd love to see her get out and T1 up. She throws it deep. Mrazek chases it. Mrazek battling against the wall. Stevens comes in. How this little girl can tie this puck up with Stevens, Mrazek, and Saltrick on her is beyond me. Stevens comes out of there with it. Stevens out front, lost the puck. Here come the Flyers up the far wall. I suspect this will be a red line dump. No, it got cut off. Vitodian back the other way. We got a girl down behind the play here. Saltrick hit her hard. Let her go, Saltrick. Puck in behind the net. You can't go care for your opponent. You got Kiesel. Kiesel drifting down the wall. Kiesel throws it to the far corner. We got no call on whatever happened with Saltrick behind. Vitodian throws it around. Saltrick puts it up the wall to Vitodian. I'd like to see Vitodian get the crack one, but she didn't. And here come the Flyers back the other way. They push her off the puck. She gains the red line, throws it, and that should have been icing, but no, Kiesel stops it short. 5:07 to go. Kiesel up the wall. We were changing. Got to be careful. Shannon sends it all the way across for Wu. Wu sends it into the center. Scarlatelli can't get a stick on it. Wu kicks it. It's loose in front. Shannon on a backhand. And the referee blew it dead. Not sure why. The puck was still loose. And they blew it dead. So we're going to stick with Shannon, Scarlatelli, and Wu. Kiesel and Blanca come out now to mind the backyard. 4:51, 15 seconds to go in the penalty. It's loose in front again. Wu can't get a stick on it. Around behind. And this one comes up the wall. Kiesel down to Scarlatelli. Can't handle it. It goes into the corner. This girl's just going to hold it in the corner. I don't understand how they allow them to do this. As they knock her down. I mean, you got to send the bigger girls in there to just knock her down. Scarlatelli puts it out front. Wu can't get a stick on it. Kiesel's not over at her point. It's going to drift out. Kiesel across to Blanca. Blanca throws it around the top of the boards again into the near corner. 4:11 to go. This one gets dropped off. They send it up the wall. Kiesel sends it all the way in. They wave it off. Flyers are going to pick it up there. We just don't have the legs to get to the open pucks right now. It's just 3 weeks of short benches and lots of games catching up with us as Clardy comes down with it. Clardy around behind. Clardy taking heavy pressure. Loses the puck. Clardy pulled down, no call. Now Makasenka out to Schilling. Schilling tries to send it over to Blanca. It got tipped into the corner. 3:32 to go in behind. Makasenka chipped it around behind. Flyers are going to pick that up. And here they come back up the far wall. They chip it out. Schilling to a Flyer. Schilling picks it up, comes back the other way with it. Now comes in on the goaltender. She's going to cover it up. And we'll get a draw with 3:15 to go in the game. 1-0. Stevens, Vitodian, Mrazek, Saltrick, Schilling come out here. 6'9", 77 up front. 91, 39 out back. I'd love to see Vitodian crank one here. Stevens can't get it out to her. She gets it out to Schilling. Schilling sends it over to Vitodian. Here it comes. Vitodian cranks one. Hits low Stevens. Stevens had to go all the way around. Stevens! Oh, I thought that one went in, and it didn't. If she tried the old wraparound, Stevens is going to try it again. They're beating, they're banging in front. Mrazek, Stevens right there. They're beating, they're banging, they're pushing. And there's nothing happening in front of the net as the goalie gets a cover on it. 2:58. Travis is yelling. Scarfo's yelling. Trying to get these girls going. I'm going to tell you, AA Ron, we miss you. Steph, if you're watching with Josh, we could use him, and we certainly could use the beard. We got none of those voices this weekend. These girls need it. We got to push these girls to this because they have nothing left at this point. Stevens with the backhand off the faceoff. The goaltender dives, and we got a broken stick. So we will do it again. Now they're going to pull him. Scarlatelli, Shannon, and Wu come out. 2:53 to go. These girls have nothing left, I can tell you that. They are exhausted. 2:53. Stripes directing traffic. They send it out to Shannon. Shannon out to Schilling. Schilling can't get it over to Vitodian. She fanned on the pass. Oh, it's a turnover to Scarlatelli. Scarlatelli with a shot. Missed everything to the near side. Now Shannon. Shannon preferred backhand around with Scarlatelli. Up to Vitodian. Vitodian cheats in. She loses the puck to a flyer. Scarlatelli covering her back. Vitodian has nothing left to catch up. Scarlatelli takes it away. Flyer gets around her. Comes in. Shot. Doesn't get on net. It's loose in front. Comes all the way across to Shannon. Shannon banks it off the wall and out. Flyers pick it up there. They're going to throw it back in, and that's going to be offsides with 2:20 to go. We should be coming to neutral ice for this one. To get this one underway again from neutral. Saltrick, Diamond, Makasenka. Kiesel and Dahl. Or Kiesel and Dahl. Kiesel and Blanka. That's a bad habit. We miss you too there, Miss Dahl. She's down with the sickness. Saltrick sends it in on the goaltender. She's going to cover it. Well, now we're going to get a draw here. I'd like to see him send out Vitodian on a point, but I guess not. So we got Kiesel and Blanka back there. Diamond going to step in and take this one. 2:12 to go. They push it into the corner. Saltrick overpowered. Got a stick up high in her shoulder. Flyers are going to pick it up there. Back to Saltrick. Saltrick battling. Flyers just going to try to tie it up there. Makasenka's going to come out. Goaltender with the cover. And we're going to get a stoppage there with 1:56 to go. Here comes Stevens, Claherty, and Vitodian and Mrazek. Kiesel's going to stay. No, Blanka's coming. The net is empty. So Coulter's out. Empty net, minute 55. We're going for it right now. Stevens back to Kiesel. Kiesel sends it in front to Stevens. It's loose in the goal mouth. See if the Flyers are going to shoot at the empty net or not. They're disciplined enough not to. Puck on the blue line. They send it ahead, Vitodian. Vitodian falls down, pulls a Flyer with her. Here comes Blanka. Blanka comes down. Vitodian gets shoved off. Loose in front, shot! And they cover it. Claherty's getting clobbered. Stevens is getting clobbered. Throw him in the box. They're pointing at the circle here. You got to throw him in the box for this shit. Tired of the roughhousing after the net. Oh, yeah, we are getting a roughing penalty. We're going to get a roughing penalty on the Flyers. So now we're going to play some 6-on-4. So that's exactly what should have happened after she got leveled in front of the net. He didn't have his arm up, but they did. And now the Flyers are going to call a timeout. So with a minute 35, we're going to play 6-on-4 hockey down here, and that timeout's going to help us rest some tired legs. So we got to see if we can get this thing done here. This is our chance, 6-on-4. I do not want to lose this game 1-0. I'll lose this game 2-1. I'll lose this game 3-1. I do not want to lose this game 1-0. I think that's a bad sports outcome. Oh, Steel City took the timeout. Mort's drawing up a magic play here. Mort's drawing some magic on the board. If you're superstitious or a little bit stitious, now's the time. Dahl, do your little spinning ballerina dance for us, buddy. We need it. Don't send us a video of that, by the way. Just do it in your head. So big penalty here. We're going to be on the power play the rest of the way, except for 5 seconds. The arena clock says 1:35. We've got a minute 30 to play 4-on-6 to try to tie this game up. Let's see what we can do here. Stevens, Claherty, Mrazek, Vitodian, Blanka, Kiesel. The moms are trying to give them all they can. We don't have a lot of voices here. Schilling didn't play Renegade as far as I know. That would have been a good time. Claherty. Flyers pick it up. Stevens taking heavy pressure in front of the net. Stevens comes out of there with it. Stevens out front to Blanka. Blanka kicks it down the wall. Blanka in front all the way through everybody. Flyers are going to get there. They're going to send it. Knocked down. Claherty turns. Claherty leaves it. Keeps it. Claherty throws it in front. Shot! Stevens overskated. Stevens and they send it out. with 1:09 to go. Blanca going to go chase it. Flyers fans wanted that to be offsides. I didn't see it. Up to Clardy. Clardy. She's going to skate it rather than pass it. Clardy gets pulled down. We're getting another penalty on the Flyers. Kiesel. Let him touch it. Kiesel's going to shoot. Goal! Vitodian with the goal! And we tie it up. Vitodian with the goal. They had a delayed penalty. The Flyers never touched it. Vitodian knocked it in, and we're tied up. And you can forget about the clock errors, and the little Flyer in front of the net's mad. So we're going to see what happens here. They tie it up with 6-on-4, and little Flyer's arguing with Stripes. He had to throw her in the box. And he is putting her in the box, which is interesting because normally on a delayed call, you would not put him in. So one's coming out, one's going in. We're going to stay on the Canadian Tire power play. It'll be interesting to see what this call is because normally on a delayed penalty, they don't put him in, and they put her in. Wu, Scarlatelli, Shannon, Vitodian, and Kiesel. We're waiting for the scorekeeper here. 47.5 on the clock here. I do not know what that penalty is. Schilling's telling Stripes to hold on. Now we're good. So we're going to stay on the power play, and it'll be interesting to see what this call is. Vitodian back over to Kiesel. Kiesel up to Shannon. Shannon, offsides. 33.8 to go. So we'll see what they call here. Schilling should have that penalty call for us. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Hopefully right when they come back. Makasenka comes out. Let's see here. Makasenka, Diamond, Salatrick, Kiesel, and Vitodian. Hopefully Schilling's going to give us the penalty call. As this one comes down the far wall. Flyers. They send it up the wall. Makasenka cut that off. Makasenka comes out front. It's loose in front. Diamond cranks it. Lexi Diamond, low left side! And it's 2-1 Steel City! Lexi Diamond, low left side. These girls want this one now. 20.4 to go. Diamond finds a low left side, and she's standing here next to me crying. Schilling still hasn't given us the penalty call. But something happened there after that goal that girl went in, even though it was a delayed penalty, and it's now 2-1 Steel City. 20 seconds to go. Vitodian, Diamond, Clardy, Blanca, Kiesel. You got Vitodian out here to tie it up. They dump it deep. They still haven't started the clock. Kiesel gets pulled down behind. It was Diamond from Salatrick. Vitodian's going to send it deep. 10 seconds. Flyers pull their goalie. They throw it up. Here they come up the near wall. Diamond steps in. It drifts to the corner. 3-2-1. And fire up that banner, Printer Michael. Your Steel City Selects girls dug deep. And they're going to win the Sarah Backstrom tournament and bring home the banner. I'll bring you the handshake. They don't do much here. We saw them give the banner. And we will see what they're going to do. I'll stay with you. There's 50 of you out there. I'm grateful. Thanks for bearing with me through the technical problems. I'll bring you the handshake. I'll bring you the banner presentation. And then we'll get over the YouTube delay and we'll call this good and head home in the snowstorm. But it's much easier heading home when you're covering the car with a banner. So there's the handshake. We'll bring the banner out for the girls. They don't call the names or anything here. They just handle the banner. I'll let you watch that. And we'll get over the YouTube delay. We'll call it good. So Schilling's going to play some music. They're going to bring out the banner. The bad clock operator is going to hand out the banner here. Well, they got something else over there, hats or something. Or towels or rags. I can't tell. Looks like a bag of hats. Bag of hats and a banner. So there's your girls. Let me see if I can give you some zoom here. Get a little closer for you. Get a little closer in on them there. There you go. There are your champions. So they brought home every banner but one this year. And looks like the Flyers are going to sit on the bench and watch the banner presentation, which is a little bit unusual. And there goes Stripes. So the girls are picking up the banner. They're going to bring it over and show the parents. This is pretty much all they do is hand this out. They don't make any announcements. So we'll see if they're going to get into a picture pose. And if they do, I'll stay here with you. They usually should. Oh, they got beanies. They gave them white beanies, which they're now going to put on, all covered in sweat. So we will we'll continue to bring you this action. I thought maybe they were going to group together here. Now Stevens is holding the banner. There's the banner. Here they come with it. Oh, no, it's Clardy. Here they come with it back to center ice. Let's see if they're going to. They are. They're going to line up here and show you their championship banner. So there they are. They're lining up for Zivvy, so you're not going to get to see them. So I'll bring you a little bit of this. You'll see the pictures in Sports Engine later. As always, thanks for being here. I'm going to aim away, get over the delay, and call it good. Start packing up for the ride home. We'll be in action next weekend in Buffalo. One more trip in this grind. As always, thanks for being here. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and go Selects.